Welcome back to a new post today, and let's continue with the most important points that you need to keep track for September 17th for the UPSC examination 2025. And let's begin with the list of treaties that ban using of missiles or weapons of mass destruction, if I may call them, and also nuclear missiles as well. So the very first is 1959, we have Antarctic Treaty. 1963, we have two treaties, that is the Hotline Agreement and the Limited Test Ban Treaty. 1967, we have Outer Space Treaty and Latin America Nuclear Free Zone Treaty. 1968, we have the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. 1971, Seabed Treaty. 1972, we have two Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty called as the START or the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty. 1974, we have two Threshold Test Ban Treaty and the Vladivostok Agreement. So 1976, we have the Peaceful Nuclear Explosions Treaty. In 77, we have Environmental Modification Convention. In 79, we have Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty. In 85, we have the South Pacific Nuclear Free Zone Treaty. In 1987, we have the Intermediate Range of Nuclear Forces Treaty. 1988, we have Ballistic Missile Notification Agreement. 1991, Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. 1922, Lisbon Protocol. 1993, Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty 2. And 1996, we have the Treaty of Pilindaba. In 1996, we have the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. 2002, Strategic Offensive Reduction Treaty. 2005, we have the International Convention for the Suppression of Acts of Nuclear Terrorism. 2010, new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, that is a treaty on prohibition of nuclear weapons between US and Russia. The next is about Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Awards, which were replaced by the Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar, which is a science award to be brought on par with the Padma Awards, but only in science and technology. So the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, the previous award was first awarded in 1958, and it is named after the founding director of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, an autonomous body, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar. And the award is given for biology, chemistry, environmental science, engineering, mathematics, medicine and physics for the research in these areas. And the Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar was brought in 2024 to replace the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Awards. And along with that, we have the Vigyan Yuva Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award. So it has been designed to honor the achievements in science and technology on par with the Padma Awards, but only for science. The next is about COP16 that will be held in December for desertification. So the COP, Conference of Parties to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, will take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The event will be co-organized by United Nations Convention for Combating of Desertification in Saudi Arabia. The focus areas will be land restoration, drought resilience, land at the heart of sustainable development goals, and women's land rights. The COP16 will be a landmark event for accelerating action on land and drought resistance, the green transition for Saudi Arabia and the region and beyond. The COP is the main decision-making body of the United Nations Convention for Combating of Desertification, which is the first land restoration convention, and it's responsible for guiding the convention in responding to global challenges and national needs as well. It is the world's platform where governments, businesses and civil societies come together to discuss the present-day challenges with regard to the land. And COP16 is the first ever meeting that is going to be held in the Middle East, the largest multilateral conference that is going to be held by Saudi Arabia, and it occurs at the 30th anniversary of the Convention on Combating of Desertification. In Cali, we are going to have the convention, or the COP, that is the Conference of Parties on Biodiversity. This is the 16th COP of Biodiversity under the Convention of Biological Diversity, one of the agreements that was adopted at the Rio Earth Summit in 1992, along with the United Nations Convention for Combating of Desertification and the United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change and the Agenda 21 Principles as well. So the theme is Peace with Nature, and this is the first biodiversity COP to be held after the adoption of the coming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework in 2022, Montreal, Canada, at the COP 15. So the parties to the convention are expected to align the national biodiversity strategies and action plans with their framework. And what exactly will be negotiated at COP16 with regard to CBD? They are the operationalization of a framework for achieving 23 targets that will enable the government governments to report on each of the 23 targets that are being achieved, mobilization of financial resources needed for successful implementation on how to implement the target 18 of reforming environmentally harmful subsidies, and target 19, that is to mobilize 200 million USD by 2030, and finalize a multilateral mechanism on fair and equitable access and benefit sharing from the use of digital sequence information on genetic resources. So these are some of the important points that I thought I should be discussing with you all from the point of view of September 17th. I shall discuss October 2nd along with September 18th tomorrow. And if you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video, and I shall see you tomorrow in another new important post. Until then, it's very happy learning.